I'm not gonna lie, no one's been robbed more of their culture more than Jamaicans, and I'm so sorry about it. I'm sorry about it. No, today, I'm gonna stand up for you. As a Nigerian man, I'm gonna stand up for you. I can't take it again.
There is this big misconception going on in the social media space right now, where the international audience is being led to believe that these people on social media who call themselves Jamaican comedians are actual true representatives of the Jamaican culture. But this couldn't be anything further from the truth. There is no way in the history of time you would see someone like a Johnny Daly, or a Muffy, or a Oliver Samuels, or a Del Sita, or Miss Lou, Muta Baruka, these true content creators. You never see these people in front of camera getting naked.
The whole world is speaking Jamaican. They just don't know it.
Yo, I feel like culture is supposed to be shared, innit? I feel like as a human being on this earth, it's your God-given right to know a little bit about everyone's culture, just for ignorance purposes. Man, you can't be ignorant out here, cuz everybody plays the fool when they don't know. So it's just better that you know what I mean? But sometimes, let's be honest, man, some people beg it, bruv. You will share a culture that's so wavy, everybody wants to join in, and when they join in, they'll be acting like they're part of you from day one. No.
Okay, from Drake's One Dance to Rihanna's Work, from work going to trending TikTok, trending on TikTok to dreadlocks on runways, Jamaica's DNA is everywhere. But here's what gets twisted. Well, Jamaica culture gets celebrated, remixed, and monetized. Globally, Jamaica still gets labeled as just a vacation spot, and Jamaicans get stereotyped, discriminated against, or flat out ignored. They gave the world its rhythm, its slang, its swagger, but somehow they're still fighting for their seat at the table they built. So guys, it's time to trace the bloodline. Every beat drop, every irie, every gold chain, that's not just a culture, that's Jamaican intellectual property. And today, guys, allow me to give Jamaicans their flowers. So guys, let's go.
Yo, I feel like culture is supposed to be shared, innit? I feel like as a human being on this earth, it's your God-given right to know a little bit about everyone's culture, just for ignorance purposes. Man, you can't be ignorant out here, cuz everybody plays the fool when they don't know. So it's just better that you know what I mean? But sometimes, let's be honest, man, some people beg it, bruv. You will share a culture that's so wavy, everybody wants to join in, and when they join in, they'll be acting like they're part of you from day one. No. I'm not gonna lie, no one's been robbed more of their culture more than Jamaicans, and I'm so sorry about it. I'm sorry about it. No, today, I'm gonna stand up for you. As a Nigerian man, I'm gonna stand up for you. I can't take it again. I can't take it anymore. Granted, Jamaicans have got a wavy culture, but I can't lie to you, man. It's not for you to take and run off with, bruv. Even me as a Nigerian, I get pissed off when I see things like this, because I know say it never did come from Nanny's pot, fam. It didn't come from Nanny's pot. Bruv, this rice is not Jamaican. This rice is as Jamaican as a snowy white Christmas. Speaking of snow, you remember this guy? When I was younger, when I first heard this song on the radio, I thought this guy was Jamaican as Jamaican can be, fam. When I saw the video, this guy was Jamaican as the Statue of Liberty. It didn't even make no sense, bruv. I like Stone Boy. I think he's hard, but at the same time, fam, like, where does the Patois come from when you there for Ghana? You're already in the middle of Ghana, rude boy. I can't lie, man. Burna Boy got some Jamaican sprinkle too, man. I'm not gonna lie, man. There's definitely some Jamaican sprinkles there, fam. Some sprinkles, I don't even know what it is. Some sprinkle flakes or some jerk flake or something. I don't know. Tuggy. If you man remember Tug of War, this guy was a Channel U sensation, bruv. This guy was as Jamaican as the transport for London, blood. You know your culture is doing a mazza when you see McDonald's try to bite the flavour, fam. Try to bite the sauce. Bruv, I've never seen no jollof flavoured McChicken crispy, blood. Don't come and do it, please. But the biggest violation is that you man want to serve Jamaican burger with bacon? With bacon? Disrespectful, that's very rude. But you know what, Jamaicans, you know what I'm going to tell you? This shit is all your fault. You man are too fucking cool. You man have been controlling the algorithm of what the world does, blood. And continue doing that, fam. We love you.
There is this big misconception going on in the social media space right now, where the international audience is being led to believe that these people on social media who call themselves Jamaican comedians are actual true representatives of the Jamaican culture. But this couldn't be anything further from the truth. There is no way in the history of time you would see someone like a Johnny Daly, or a Muffy, or a Oliver Samuels, or a Del Sita, or Miss Lou, Muta Baruka, these true content creators. You never see these people in front of camera getting naked, shaking their rumps, Men pretending to be women. Women pretending to be men. Men getting naked and video for tips and taps and roses. That's not a true representation of the Jamaican culture. And for you people who are quick to call people with a brain bad mind when we speak on these type of topics, go ahead and say that. Because these people who claim they are earning a living, are they making money from doing these degradatory things? They are doing so at the expense of a rich cultural heritage like Jamaica's. Imagine you're eroding a culture's value at the expense of a tip, a top, a rose. Now, Jamaicans, if these are the lies that we speak about on social media, I am in agreement. Because none of these guys you see out there getting naked on their cameras, shaking their rump on cameras, whining, slow whining and grinding and turning on cameras, these guys are not a representative of the Jamaican culture. And anyone who disagrees, you are also contributing to the destruction and erosion of our rich cultural heritage. Miss Lou would have cried if she was alive to see these things. Our rich cultural heritage, Jamaicans have been valued at an international level for decades. And now all that we have in the eyes of the international public are puppy shows. And when people with a brain come out and speak on these things, you call we bad mind and grudgeful and haters and liars and perpetrators of lies. But we are eroding and destroying our cultural heritage. Bring back a Jamaica where whatever we post, the kids could see. Whatever we say, the kids could listen. What happened to those type of contents? Why does men have to pretend to be women? Why does women have to pretend to be men? Why people say their bedroom business onto the media? Why? To earn a dime? At the expense of our culture? Prime Minister, opposition leader, parliamentarians, these are the things you must tackle. Things that are eroding our culture and our image on an international level. Think a joke, give it a couple of years.
Do you believe that we Jamaicans should be gatekeepers of our culture? When I say gatekeepers, I don't mean that, we don't let anybody in, but we should be the one who basically decides what gets into our industries, for example, or what gets to be said. When it comes to like dancehall,
I think, yeah, I hear what you're saying, and it's
You're
a tricky
familiar.
question. But no one else other than a Jamaican, I think, has the right to speak on behalf of Jamaicans, and of course we're very varied people, so even we shouldn't try it. But yeah, no, I definitely my thing though, I keep going back to, and I just want to raise the point. As much as I think Jamaicans obviously should have the authority, the point is, if you are not doing something with your culture, what you vex about what other people doing? Like, what are you doing with your culture? And from your doing your thing, then you don't really have time to worry about what anybody else is doing or not doing. People are usually just talking when they're not doing it.
Look, I need you all to understand something that's been eating at me. Yesterday, I'm scrolling through my feed and I see this European DJ talking about how he discovered this new sound rhythm style production. Rhythm, like Jamaica didn't birth that decades ago. And the comments, so innovative, never had anything like this before. Like, brother, sister, this is the story of Jamaican people. They create, you take, and they get erased. See, Jamaica is 2.9 million people on an island smaller than Connecticut, but their cultural footprint, that's global empire territory. And I'm not talking about political empire built on exploitation. I'm talking about cultural empire built on pure creativity, resilience, and soul. The problem is empires usually get their credit. Jamaican culture, they're still waiting. Think about it. When the British Empire dominated, everyone knew it was British. When American culture gets spread, it's clear label made in USA, but Jamaican culture, it just becomes world culture, urban culture, tropical vibes. The source gets mysteriously forgotten and erased. Okay, let's start with the foundation, music. Reggae didn't just influence world music, it rewrote the rules. Bob Marley is literally one of the most recognized human beings who have ever lived. But here's what they don't teach you. Hip hop, the biggest genre on earth, was started by DJ Kool Herc, a Jamaican immigrant in Bronx who brought sound system culture from Kingston to New York block parties. That's not influence, that's DNA. But watch how this plays out. Drake makes One Dance and the most streamed song in Spotify history at the time, built entirely in Jamaican production, Jamaican rhythm, Jamaican flow. Brilliant track, respect to Drake, but the conversation becomes about Drake's versatility, not Jamaican's gift to the world. The same pattern with Rihanna, with Major Lazer, with half the EDM festival you see. Now, I don't know what's up, but let us talk about language. Patois is not just broken English like some people want to call it. It's a Creole language born from the genius of enslaved Africans who created new ways to communicate, preserve their culture, and maintain identity under impossible conditions. Every wagon, every irie, every yardmon carries that history. But watch social media now. Wagwan becomes a meme. Celebrities drop Jamaican phrases for authenticity points. The language becomes aesthetic, divorced from its roots. Meanwhile, Jamaican professionals still code switch in corporate environments because Patois gets you labeled as unprofessional. They created the nuance but still can't eat at the tables with it. Fashion and style, don't get me started here because the red, gold, and green color scheme shows up in everything from luxury fashion to streetwear brands. Dreadlocks went from being a spiritual practice and natural hair to choice to agey and bohemian on runways, but a Jamaican person wearing locks to a job interview, still fighting discrimination. Rastafarian practicing their faith, still facing prejudice. The world wants the aesthetic without the people. They want the style without the story. And this hits personal for me because I have watched family members navigate this reality. I have a cousin who stays in Kingston and is a brilliant reggae producer who worked with artists you definitely know. And something insidious is that the season comes for awards, magazines, features, they get written with the documentary, gets made somehow, but this guy doesn't even be seen in those magazines or those interviews and documentaries. It's like watching someone take credit for your grandmother's recipe while she's standing right there. When we talk about sports, Jamaica doesn't just compete in sprinting. They dominate with a population smaller than most cities. Usain Bolt didn't just run fast. He changed how the world sees possibilities. But even that excellence gets reduced to genetics or luck, not culture, not the deep tradition of athletics in Jamaican schools, not the community support, not the cultural confidence that tells a kid from Trelawney that they can be the fastest human alive. And here's what gets really tough. Jamaica has given so much to the world. Music that heals, language that connects, style that inspires, athletic excellence that amazes. They've done this while dealing with colonial aftermath, all right? Economic challenges, the global system that weren't built for them to win. They're not asking for charity. They're asking for credit. They're asking for acknowledgement that when the world feels rhythm, when the world speaks their words, when the world moves to their beat, that's not accident. That's Jamaican excellence exported globally. The diaspora understands this. Whether in Toronto, London, New York, Jamaicans know this. They see each other. They recognize the culture in the music, in the fashion, in the attitude. But mainstream recognition, that's still a fight. They can't recognize them in the mainstream media. But here's the thing. Truth has a way of surfacing. The young generation is different. People like me, we research, we give credit, we understand cultural appropriation, the connection, TikTok creators are creating Jamaican dance moves, music journalists are tracing sample origins, fashion brands are collaborating instead of just taking, right? The shift is happening, but we need to accelerate it. And to my Jamaican family, watching your culture is not small island culture. It's global empire culture that happens to come from a beautiful island. Own that. To everyone else, the next time you hear that rhythm, use that slang, see that style, remember the source. Jamaica is not just a vacation destination, it's a cultural superpower. You've been feeding the world your source for decades. It's time the world acknowledged the chef. It's time to acknowledge Jamaica. One love, one people, one recognition. Jamaica always to the world. I love you, my Jamaican people. Drop a comment with your favorite example of Jamaican influence you see around you. Subscribe to this if it opened your eyes to something new, and share this with someone who needs to understand that culture has ownership, credit has values, and Jamaica deserves its flowers. Thank you for watching. It's been your boy for today, the Bantu Merchant, and I hope to see you in my next video.